Today we're taking a look at my top 3 favorite iPhone 15 Plus cases. If this video helps you decide on one case, or just teaching you what to look for in a smartphone case, drop a like on this video so YouTube can help spread it to other people who are researching iPhone 15 Plus cases. I'll have links to everything in the description below, so definitely check that out. Today we're taking a look at the Supcase UB Pro Mag case for the iPhone 15 Plus. Supcase had sent this over. I've been a long-time fan of the Unicorn Beetle Pro cases, and I've tested out quite a few of them for a couple of phones. These cases feature a high level of overall protection for smartphones in my opinion. The UB Pro Mag case that I have here today is a dual-layer interlocking case type that's MagSafe compatible. The front frame includes a built-in screen protector for added convenience and protection. The screen protector is a decent thickness, and it should stand up pretty well to anything that would normally come into contact with your iPhone in my opinion. The front frame interlocks with the main case body relatively tightly, which is good for protection as well as helping keep out liquids from immediately seeping onto the screen, which is important if you find yourself caught in the rain or something like that. We can see that the front frame is actually decently rigid here, which complements the main case body well. The TPU sides, top, and bottom of the main case body are a little bit malleable, but they're still quite thick and quite strong. This combination of a rigid front frame with a molded TPU material to protect it makes for some great protection for smartphones, especially when you have a little bit of extra material on the corners. When we look at the front side of the phone with the case installed, you can actually tell that around the perimeter of the phone, the case forms a bezel that actually extends up past the screen surface by about 1 to 2 millimeters. This is actually a pretty important screen protection feature to look for in cases. This will actually lift the phone and the screen up off of a flat surface by that 1 to 2 millimeter distance. It means that if you drop your phone on a flat surface, the screen can't actually touch any flat surfaces with the case installed. This is actually ideal because a lot of phone drops are definitely going to happen on floors either at home, in the office, and it does provide protection even outside on flat surfaces like concrete or even the street. When you buy a case for protection, you want the case to actually take the brunt of the impact forces, absorbing and redistributing those forces in order to reduce the chances of actually damaging your smartphone. I've had the UB Pro cases on quite a few phones now, and they have survived some really gnarly drops and tumbles, so I really like this design. By the way, if you're getting value out of this one, definitely toss a like on the video. It helps the channel a ton, and YouTube will recommend it to other people who are looking for cases. In looking at the sides of the phone, there's actually a grip pattern, which is nice. This will help increase the amount of traction or grab that you can have on your phone, especially if it's wet. The back side of the phone is actually nice and smooth, and I really like the aesthetic design in my opinion. The case is MagSafe compatible. The magnets are actually built into the kickstand that the case uses. You can actually just pop that out and the magnets will effectively become your kickstand. I do like the dual functionality here. I don't like giving up kickstands, and I do like MagSafe compatibility. MagSafe accessories are quite useful. I would definitely use this for like a car mount. The kickstand is also super useful because I love setting up videos to play on my phone, and then setting my phone up with the kickstand on a desk or a counter wherever I am, and then doing whatever work it is that I'm doing. That way I can watch stuff without reducing mobility. As for the camera protection, we have the tried and true built-up camera cutout region. The case thickness actually creates a space between the camera lenses and a flat surface, kind of like the front bezel. We have about 1 to 2 millimeters here, which is pretty nice distance. This should help ensure that the camera lenses don't actually make contact with anything when you drop your phone. As for the microphone and speaker cutouts, there weren't any issues there, so that's good. The data and charging port is protected by the flap that's built into the main case body, which is nice. This will help keep the port dry and free of dust and debris over time, which I think is important. So overall, I would say if you have the iPhone 15 Plus and you're really looking for some solid protection in your smartphone case, I would definitely recommend the Supcase UB Pro Mag case that I have here. It's a very competitive option on the market for the iPhone 15 Plus, and I don't think you can go wrong with it with the enhanced amount of protection, as well as the features that are included, so I have no issues recommending this case to anyone who has an iPhone 15 Plus. This review taking a look at the Iaz Aries Mag Case for the iPhone 15 Plus. Iaz had sent this case over for review, and I'm glad that they did. I think the look and the feel of this case is interesting, and I think it's a pretty solid value. So we're going to take a look at why I came to that conclusion, and we're going to start off with the case protection factors. In my opinion, the case protection is the most important part of buying a case, but it's also nice to have style and make sure that you actually like holding the case in your hand. As for the protection, we have a dual layer interlocking case that essentially wraps around the entire phone. I'm a huge fan of interlocking cases. I think you're generally better off with a case that completely encloses your smartphone. This case does feature an included built-in screen protector, which I also like. It's a decent thickness, and I didn't have any issues when moving my finger across the screen. It looks like it should protect your screen well from normal sorts of stuff that's going to scratch it. Keys, other things in your pocket, stuff like that. This case does have the classic bezel across the entire perimeter of the iPhone, which is good for drops on flat surfaces. Things like tile, maybe even concrete, depending on the height, maybe dropping it off your desk, you're going to want this kind of bezel. The front frame of the case ends up essentially lifting the iPhone body 1 to 2 millimeters off of a flat surface. This is going to give you some screen protection in that the front frame of the case, as well as the TPU bumper that's wrapped around it, will end up impacting the ground first, absorbing and redistributing some of those forces. So this should help protect your iPhone screen. You want to delay any visits to the Apple geniuses as long as you can. This case also features reinforced corners, which I like. Corner drops can definitely result in heartbreak, so in my opinion, if you're buying a case because you want to have some solid case protection, definitely look for reinforced corners. The sides of the case do feature the TPU bumper like I mentioned. It's essentially a layer of TPU that will help absorb impact forces. In looking at the backside of this case, we can see that the backside is also transparent, just like the front screen protector. I think this feature is kind of cool if you actually like the color of your iPhone and you enjoy seeing the Apple logo, especially in the middle of the MagSafe magnet. This is a pretty nice benefit of the Aries Mag case. I like that the case is also implementing a bezel essentially along the entire perimeter of the backside of the phone, and there's some extra material on the sides at the top and the bottom, which might help with impacts. I actually thought it was a little bit nicer for extra hand grip when I was holding the phone. As you can see, this case is MagSafe compatible, definitely a nice feature. Aesthetically speaking, I really like the way they integrated this into the case, and it really looks like it's supposed to be there and not an afterthought. I especially like the black on black look here. As for the camera area, we have the tried and true built up camera cutout section. This cutout region has raised bezels that end up putting the camera lenses a few millimeters away from any flat surfaces that the phone might come into contact with when dropped. As I mentioned, this case is generally speaking made of TPU and polycarbonate type materials, pretty standard for a case like this. The button feel feels pretty good in my opinion. The cutouts for the mic and the speaker look pretty good too. The case supports wireless charging and has a flap cover for the data port. I really like that feature. Flap covers definitely help keep the ports clean and free of debris over time, so I always try to look for these. So I would say if you like the overall design and the aesthetic of this case, I would absolutely recommend it for your iPhone 15 Plus. I think the case is well built and it offers a pretty good competitive value for iPhone 15 Plus users. If you like taking a look at the Gonz Slim Liquid case for the iPhone 15 Pro, Gonz had offered to sponsor this video, and after taking a look at what the case had to offer, I was happy to agree. The Slim Liquid case is really a bit of a bundle here. We're getting the main rear case body, as well as not one, but two included screen protectors, wet and dry prep wipes, as well as dust stickers, to ensure that we get the perfect application for the screen protector. Oh, and we're getting two camera lens protectors. That's quite a bit of value at an aggressively competitive position in the iPhone 15 Pro case market. Oh yeah, and the case is also MagSafe compatible, can't forget that. Let's take a look at prepping and installing the case, as well as the screen protector. I noticed that the main case body is a very smooth and soft feeling TPU material, which I kind of like. The front side of the case, crucially, does offer a small bezel for added screen protection. This bezel or lip is about 1.19 millimeters tall, which means that the iPhone screen won't be able to touch a flat surface when you drop it on a flat surface, like the floor, in your kitchen, or at the office. This is a super helpful feature in my opinion. To really level up that screen protection though, Gonz includes two 9H rated tempered glass screen protectors. These screen protectors are decently thick, and I think they're going to stand up very well against items that are normally going to come into contact with your iPhone screen. We're getting nearly complete coverage with the screen protector, and the application was relatively easy. Just use that top indent to line up the glass, and then lay it down in place. I would definitely make sure to use those included prep materials though. It's super important to make sure that the screen protector application looks nice and that you don't end up with any weird air bubbles. Between the protection factor of the main case body as well as the tempered glass screen protector, we have a very good level of overall phone protection here, and the phone profile still remains very slim. If you prefer the slimmer experience for your smartphone, but you don't want to give up any of that case protection, this is definitely an interesting option that I think you should consider. As for the main case body, it's composed of a softer outer layer, rigid strong layer, and a felt-like layer on the inside to gently hold the iPhone body. The case is also MagSafe compatible. I find myself frequently using magnetic rings as well as car mounts, so this is definitely a nice feature to have. This case also allows for wireless charging, so that's awesome to see as well. As for the cameras and the camera lenses, the case does form a camera cutout region, and it does have a bit of a built-up bezel in order to create space between the camera lenses and a flat surface. It looks like it's about 2 millimeters tall here. This is a super important feature for protecting the cameras as well as the camera lenses from flat surface drops. Gonz did go a step further and includes 2 camera lens protectors on top of that though. You can optionally install these for even more coverage. I like that the slim liquid case here from Gonz is able to offer protection, MagSafe compatibility, and retains that slim iPhone profile for a lighter phone experience. I tend to personally skew towards bigger and bulkier cases, but I know that not everybody wants to carry around a brick in their pocket. I think this case really hits the mark there for people who want good protection, but they don't need or want to substantially increase the weight or the volume of their iPhone. Like I said earlier, I think this case bundle is positioned to be a seriously competitive option in the iPhone 15 Pro case market, and I would definitely recommend it if it fits your style and your needs. I'll have links to the case and accessories in the description below, so definitely head down there and check those out. If this video helped you figure out which case to buy or what to look for in a case, give it a like so that YouTube will know to send this video to other people who are researching cases. Alright, if you made it through that, hopefully you learned something, and as an added bonus, I'm including a really short review of the Ucom X Nano 3-in-1 wireless charger for Apple iPhones and Apple accessories. As you can see here, I tested my iPhone 15 Pro Max with this charger as well as the Apple Watch 8. The version that I have here is in white, but it comes in a ton of colors: gray, blue, red, green, orange, pink, purple, and I think there's even a yellow option. This charger does provide overcurrent protection, provides overcharging protection. It does actually have temperature protection as well, so it doesn't overheat, and it's able to detect non-Qi charging compatible devices, so it won't cause any issues there. The charger does come with its own cable and adapter, which is nice. I think the really huge draw to this product is that it's basically foldable. You can fold this up and travel with it very easily because it won't take up a ton of space, but the utility that it provides once you get to where you're going, hotel, maybe a vacation, something like that, it's super nice to have all this stuff. You're probably not going to have a ton of wireless charging accessories, let alone 3 wireless charging options when you go to a hotel, for example. The centerpiece also flips up so that you can charge an Apple Watch in an orientation that allows you to actually see the screen. I like that. In terms of the maximum charging capacity, you can deliver up to 10 watts to the iPhone, up to 5 watts to your AirPods, and up to 5 watts to your watch. This is actually pretty good for a charger of this style and design with this functionality at the price that it's sold at. I think it's a good value. So yeah, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully you learned something, and get subscribed for more smartphone and mobile tech videos. I'll have links to everything in the description below, so definitely check that out. Oh, and if you end up buying one of these, definitely drop a comment down below. I'm very curious to know what you end up going with. Until next time, stay charged up.